Have you ever wondered how a river could literally change the color of a dress? Or how the soil and even the morning mist in one specific village can deeply perfume a bowl of rice? Well, welcome to this explainer. I am absolutely thrilled you're here today because we're looking at this fascinating intersection of geography and human creativity. We're going to explore how the natural environment doesn't just, surround us. It actually creates the art we see, the clothes we wear, and the food we eat.
Okay, let's dive into this. When we think about traditions, right, we usually picture things passed down through families, like secret recipes or old stories. But today, we're uncovering traditions born from the earth itself. As you'll see, we're going to look at how India's indigenous traditions prove that geography leaves a permanent, physical imprint on culture. It's just the spectacular relationship between human hands and the elements of nature.
So here's our roadmap for this explainer. First, we'll look at nature in tribal art. Second, bog prints, river's gift. Third, chanor, sweet aromatic rice. And finally, preserving our living heritage. All right, kicking things off with Section 1, Nature in Tribal Art, at the Tribes Art Fest 2026. So, at a massive recent showcase organized by the Ministry of Tribal Affairs, alongside FIXI and the National Gallery of Modern Art, over 75 tribal artists gathered. Their goal? To prevent these ancient, deeply rooted visual cultures from going extinct. And it's here we see stunning works like this one by Kingson Swargieri, a 41-year-old artist from the Boro community in Assam. Notice how he beautifully anchors his canvas. I mean, the trees, the tiger, the vibrant flowers, they don't just decorate the frame, they are the literal foundation of it, with hills and rivers emerging naturally all around them. He's visually representing how his community lives in absolute, seamless harmony with nature. But you know what's truly captivating about Kingston's work? It's his layer-free process. He doesn't sketch out preliminary lines or plan things out with pencils, no way. Instead, he starts directly with colors, building a mental layout based entirely on the sounds and the auditory experience of the forest. It's like he's painting the soundscape. This showcases a really profound psychological and sensory connection between the artist and the natural world around him. Now, this deep connection shifts slightly, but brilliantly illustrates the same bond when we look at Koya artist V. Naveen from the God of Rebelt in Telangana. His work captures the raw endurance of daily life. Notice how he restricts his palette almost entirely to brownish red and white acrylics. Why? Well, historically, his ancestors extracted these exact colors directly from the forest stone and red soil to paint. He uses these earthy tones to record everyday labor, women tying babies to their backs to work, the pounding tools used to husk rice long before modern mills, and the gathering of sacred mahua flowers, which are fermented and offered to local deities. So essentially what we're looking at here is a living archive of human experience. These artists draw direct inspiration down to the very sounds of the forest and the historical pigments of the soil to capture their daily labor and their profound respect for nature. It's an incredible foundation, and it leads us perfectly from canvas over to our next medium, fabric. Moving on to Section 2, Bog Prints, the river's gift. Now, to really understand why this fabric is so special, we need to talk about geographical indication, or GI tags. Think of a GI tag as an official cultural passport. It's legal recognition that a product is so uniquely tied to its specific geographical origin that it literally cannot be made the exact same way anywhere else in the world. And that is absolutely the case for the 1,000-year-old bog prints of Madhya Pradesh. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the sheer precision of these striking red and black geometric and floral patterns. They're stamped onto cotton, and nowadays even silk, using ancient, intricately carved wooden blocks. This tradition has been passed down through local families for generations. The designs are incredibly complex, relying on this deeply repetitive pattern that creates a harmonious, almost mesmerizing visual effect. But here is the real secret. It's not just the wooden blocks, it's the water itself. You literally cannot make a true bog print with standard tap water. The entire settlement of bog printers exists specifically because of the nearby Bogini River. And the mind-blowing science here is that the flowing water of the Bogini River has a highly unique chemical composition. When the artisans wash their fabrics in this specific river, the water literally reacts with the natural vegetable dyes. It creates these incredibly luminous red and black tones that simply can't be replicated in any other region. It's geography doing chemistry. And creating just one of these saris, it is a monumental task of human skill and patience. We're talking about an entirely manual process that takes 3 whole weeks. First, they mix natural dyes using ingredients like ferrous sulfate, tamarind seed powder, and glue. Then, after painstakingly hand-stamping the blocks across the entire fabric, it undergoes multiple washings in that magical Bogini River water. Finally, the fabric is literally boiled in a cauldron, it's called a butt tea treatment, to force those brilliant permanent colors to the surface. So just to lock that in, bog prints are a 1,000-year-old family tradition that relies entirely on river chemistry reacting with vegetable dyes to create those signature luminous colors. The whole thing is completely manual, takes 3 weeks per sari, and is rightly protected by those GI tags. The water literally makes the fabric. Now, let's look at how the soil makes the food.
That brings us to Section 3, Chinor, sweet aromatic rice. This premium agricultural treasure from Balakat is so beloved and famous that it was even written about in Surasfag, which is a collection of local folk songs dating all the way back to 1946. It is a crop deeply shaped by its unique local climate. To give you a helpful everyday analogy, the very name Chinor comes from local words meaning sweet and aromatic. Look closely at the apex of the grain. It's actually shaped quite sharply, resembling the tip of a tiny sword. It's a visually distinct, medium-slender grain that holds a massive culinary secret.
Let's move along and see how this builds, because geography is acting as the ultimate chef here. In the Balagat district, during the maturing season, there is a highly specific daily temperature cycle. The nights drop to a cool 18 to 20 degrees Celsius, and the days warm up to 26 to 28 degrees Celsius. Plus, the critical grain filling process happens precisely between 10:30 and 11:15 in the morning, when the humidity sits at an average of 55 to 60%. This exact, perfectly timed climate cycle acts like a natural oven, literally baking the high aroma and sweetness directly into the rice before it's even harvested. And that leads us to a really incredible number, 8 to 10. You see, Cheno rice has what agriculturalists call a low alkaline spreading score of 4. What does that actually mean for us? It means it cooks very quickly. But the real magic is that once it's cooked, it is remarkably resilient. It retains its water and its incredible softness for 8 to 10 hours after cooking. No way, right? It doesn't get hard or dried out like standard rice, which makes it an absolute premium delicacy in the market. So, to quickly sum up this agricultural marvel, Chenar rice features that unique sword-tip sheep. Its legendary sweet aroma is entirely driven by the incredibly specific daily temperature and humidity cycles of the Balagat district, and it has the superpower of retaining its moisture and softness for up to 10 hours after cooking. Finally, Section 4, Preserving Our Living Heritage. Bringing all these distinct threads together, the painted canvas, the hand-stamped fabric, and the aromatic soil, we see that protecting these specific regional arts and crops isn't just about preserving things for museum displays. It is actively about sustaining local livelihoods, empowering tribal communities, and maintaining a healthy, respectful balance with nature itself. Whether it's through incredible large-scale events like the Tribe's Art Fest or through the legal protection of geographical indication tags for things like bog prints and Chinor rice, validating these traditions honors the irreplaceable, beautiful bond between human labor and the earth that provides for us all. So I'll leave you with this provocative question to ponder. Take a look at your own corner of the globe. What local traditions, foods, or crafts exist right in your own backyard that are entirely shaped by the specific rivers, climates, and soil around you? The geographic footprint of culture is literally everywhere if we just look closely enough. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer today. Keep exploring, stay curious, and I will see you next time.